thing. I'm going to make a few comments quickly on the Boss Katana 50 watt amp. And I'm not being critical of it. I know too many great players that have one and love it. And you can look all over the internet and you see people making them sound amazing. I got one for home use. I have a Blues Junior that I use when I play out rock and roll, which unfortunately isn't that much anymore. But that just cranks, and I love a tube amp. And I've got a beautiful pedal board. I'm going to turn this phone around so you can see what I'm talking about. Now there you can see my Boss Katana. And over here you see my pedal board. I like to sit in this chair at the end of the day after work and play the guitar. I played some backing tracks on YouTube, which I'd never done. I'm going to turn this Boss Katana on. I'm plugged in directly to the amp, and I want you to hear something. Okay, there it is. Now, it's one thing to have a little hum, but that's a waver. When I put my fingers on the strings of the guitar, it comes down a lot. But that sounds like a waver. And, you know, it wouldn't bother me too much if once I started playing, I was getting a great tone. But I'm not. Let me... Now, I'm going to play a little bit here. It's got that hum in it. And now I wanted to say, here's what I know for a fact. I know for a fact I'm not using this amp correctly. All right, but I've tried everything. I've tried the gain. I want that really nice Pink Floyd sound, and I've actually got a great sound out of this little thing. Thing was $50, like a little stocking stuffer. I had a great sound out of that. I'll toss a little clip of me playing a couple songs on this. It sounded great. The problem is I was cranking it and it blew out the speaker. But this thing sounds great. That thing, to me, the more I realize, it's almost like a multi-effects pedal, you know. And a multi-effects pedal, those things, I've seen people make them sound amazing, but I'm a kind of basic guy. I've got this nice pedal board. I've got this nice pedal board that's very convenient, and that's a tuner, tube screamer, angry driver, Boss tremolo TR2, Boss analog delay DM2, Boss reverb RV6, and I like, you know, when I hit reverb I get reverb, when I hit delay I get delay, and it's. And I guess I've decided that I don't like amps that are so complicated to use. I think this thing does everything. I'm sure that people are watching this right now thinking, hey, you know, he's not doing this right or that right. I'll show you the settings I've got. But it's got that waver. Last night it was really bad. And when I've got this great pedal board, and when I hooked up the pedal board, it was just horrible. And I'm sure it's me not using it right, but there's so many different variables on that thing, and it does so many things. And I like to use the pedal board because I can get a really nice sort of ethereal sustain play, like kind of space rock and good blues, and that really creamy sustain you can get. I think I'm going to get the littlest tube amp I can find, because the tube amp, the ones I've been looking at, have, you know, volume, master volume. That's always nice, which is basically gain. You know, bass, treble, mid, and maybe reverb. And I've actually got a reverb pedal. And then if I'm not pushing the right button, this thing has all kinds of presets. It's got several different delays. It's got little buttons all over it. You know, for 3 different delays. I think last night I was getting something that sounded like a phase shifter. It was, and it was not a pleasant one. It wasn't like a bridge of size type phase shifter. And again, I'm not cutting down that amp. I know that's a great amp. I've seen people do amazing things with it. But I want a really simple amp. I've got a great pedal board that I can use. I know how to work my pedal board, which is basically idiot proof. I mean, you know, twist the knobs to get a level, but it's not complicated. You don't have sort of knobs that you don't know what they do, you know, and you don't have to watch a bunch of videos to learn how to run it. So like I said, I am sure that it's me. It's not the amp, it's me. But I also know that if I just had an amp that had probably tubes in it, it's going to sound good right out of the gate, nice and warm. You know, if I get a really small one or one with an attenuator, I can play it quiet here in the house. Then I hook it up to my pedal board. It's like a painter with just having a few colors, but you can mix those so many ways. This is just confusing for me, and I've been having trouble getting the sound I like. Like I said, I actually think I was getting better sounds out of that little Piker Black Star. But it's not the amp. It's just that, and you know, the other night I had it sounding better, but then, you know, I was messing with it and I kind of lost whatever I had it set on, and I keep kind of looking for. It's like looking for the lost chord. I keep kind of looking to set it, and it's very sensitive. You know, it's got a lot of different models, and you know, I think I just like the idea of a really good tube sound with the volume, master volume, and my pedal board. I just want a small enough one that I can play in the house with, and I've been looking at a couple, the Bugera V5. I think the one I'm looking at maybe is that Supro Blue 8 or something like that. That's the one I think they have downtown that I'm going to get. But this is not a criticism of the Boss Katana amp. I'm not trying to discourage anybody from buying it. I'm just telling you my experiences, and it's the same experience I had with the two different multi-effects boards. I bought a Line 6 HD 300. I've had a couple of those multi-effects pedal boards. I actually think those things are made to sell in the store. You know, they sound great in the store, but then you take them home and there are 98 different settings and so many different ways to make it work. And you know, sometimes I've been playing a long time, and I kind of know, you know, I like to plug in and it sounds good, and that's kind of what I like. And I think a nice tube amp with the volume control, master volume, bass, middle, treb, maybe a reverb, you know, would be nice, but that's not even essential because I have a pedal board. So I think I'm going to lean in that direction, and it's just one more experience that I've had that has made me again lean towards tube amps. The only problem with tube amps is they're too damn loud, you know, and you also you have to turn it up to get the sound everybody likes. So these amp modelers are really nice, and I've seen people do amazing things with them. But I think I want something really simple. And I think the Boss Katana is, I know it's a lot more, it's a lot simpler than a lot of the amp modeling amps out there. Is this a modeling amp? Digital, but it's digital. I feel like it's modeling. It's got different amps and several different delays, and but I've just been having trouble getting it to sound okay. I had it, and when I've got it to sound pretty good, then I turn it off, and maybe you know, a kid messes with it or something, and I can't get it back. Whereas a really simple amp with the volume, it's, you know, you don't have that problem. So it's not the amp, it's me. To quote a Dear John letter that you might have read, it's not you, it's me. But it's not me, it's not the amp, it's me. But I think I'm going to return. I'm still in the window to return it, and I think I'm going to buy the littlest tube amp I can find, just with the volume, master volume, bass, middle, treb, and I don't know. Like I said, you know, one problem with these amps is what everybody wants to sound like is a guitar that's cranked loud, you know. When the sound people love, all the iconic tones. For one, they're great guitar players with great hands and touch, but also they're playing in huge rooms and big stadiums with giant amps that are cranked all the way. And just being in a big room makes an amp sound good, you know, let alone having it cranked up like that. And so to some extent, these little amps are all trying to emulate that sound. And yet at the same time make something you can play without waking up your neighbors, you know. So that's a hard thing to do, and I'm not. Like I said, I think the Boss Katana is really good. I used to have a Roland Cube 60, which I think was the predecessor to the Boss Katana. So I might mess with it more. I feel like even if I get it to sound good if I'm done making these comments, I'm still gonna feel like, well, one night I want to play it, I might take it somewhere, and I'll have that problem, you know, in a restaurant or a bar or something where it sounds like heck, and I can't, you know, and I feel like I need to mess with all these knobs for 15 minutes to try to make it sound right. And that's my own ignorance. But on the other hand, when you have so many knobs and little buttons, and there are a lot of little buttons, like, you know, little ones, and you know, you push it once and it does this, and it turns this color. You push it another time, it does that, and it turns this color, and it gets pretty confusing. And some of those little buttons make a big difference. So, like I said, I see the value of it. It's like anything. You're playing for something. That's what I bought this one for, because it's so small. This little Black Star. And it sounded great But I started kind of playing a little louder when I found some of these backing tracks on YouTube, and I blasted it out, you know. So I thought I'd get one that was a little bigger, but still one I could just play sitting around the house. And that's been my experience. Like I said, it's not the amp's fault. On the other hand, I kind of like to, you know, plug in an amp and play. That's the whole point. And you know, having to watch a bunch of YouTube videos to try to figure out how it works. That's just, you know, I'm tired at the end of the day, and I just want to play the guitar. So that's been my take. But it's a good amp. If you can handle the controls, which are not complicated, like I said. But if you're, you know, I see people all the time on YouTube that make them sound amazing. So, but I'm going to go for a simpler one. That's my take. That's my review of the Boss Katana 50. Thank you. Good night.